Welcome everybody. Live Forex trading session with analysis tips and tricks for the 1st of June 2012. For those of you who are on YouTube, feel free to use the live comments on the right hand side. Okay, if you want anything analyzed, we're just about to the closing of the market. So we're going to have a few peeks at what we could be trading next week. Obviously, we're not going to try to trade now unless you're going to do a scalp. Okay, for those of you who are not familiar with the Trader's Hideout platform, you're welcome to download it. It's absolutely free. And the link is right on top. If you're on Google Plus and you want to be included in the panel, just add me, plus Mike Mederl, and you're welcome to come on board. Pretty slow moving day, although we had a few spikes. Let's bring up some charts and start analyzing. There's that spike earlier on. Let's bring up the 1 hour chart. We're going to be concentrating on actual setups for next week. Okay, so we got a couple of hours left for the markets, so we're not going to be trading that much. We had a pretty interesting bounce back. We actually talked about that yesterday, where we were looking for a retracement on the euro, and indeed it retraced about 60 pips or so, and obviously it went up 100 pips and went back down. So right now it's trying to sort of find out where it wants to go. Okay, so on the euro dollar, one of the things that we can do, because there is some volatility on the 1 hour chart, we could be looking at the 4 hour chart. Here's the correction. It's fairly obvious. We had a nice correction here. Okay, which is about 106 pips. Okay, and we probably unless we have a reversal, we probably we could see another 50 pips or so, and then a continuation to the downturn. The euro bounce back has been long awaited for us, so we will just have to wait and see. Personally, I wouldn't make any long-term trades on that, because you want to see if it is a reversal. There are indicators here that there might be a reverse coming up, and that is one right here. But we'll just have to wait and see how the week opens up next week. Okay, so that's on the euro dollar. Let's bring up another one. Let's bring up the Aussie dollar. And we can pretty much see that spike all over the place. Okay, the dollar had a bounce back here. Let's see. Yeah, the U.S. dollar was sort of beaten up a little bit. Let's bring up the 4 hour chart. See what that one looks like. Okay, and we welcome AC Cruz.
Thank you, sir.
And notice we have on the bottom here on the 4 hour chart, we have a pretty interesting support. Okay, this is one of the things that we saw on the US dollar, where we talked about the bounce back. This is a 4 hour chart, so obviously it does have some weight to it. I need to close this here, otherwise we will not be able to. There you go. Otherwise you can't see what I'm doing or what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's those 3 candles right here, and you can see that the bottom is pretty much a floor. And we might see that on other pairs as well. But when we take a look at this one, okay, on a 4 hour chart, it does have a meaning. It's not something you can ignore, and there it is again. Okay, this is a doji. Okay, this is almost a doji. I mean, that's pretty much a doji if you take a look at the formation of it. Okay, there is a session coming up on candlestick formations. It's session number 6. So for those of you who are into training, you're a few sessions away from it. Okay. We could see an interesting bounce back of the Aussie. We might even see 70 pips. You know what? We could, if this wasn't a Friday, if this was a Monday right now, we could have made a buy. But because it's a Friday, and you've heard me say this before, I have a saying, you never know who's going to do what to whom and to what extent on the weekend. You just don't want to take your chances, okay? Because if somebody does something and all starts going up and dollar is starting to fly all over the place, you just don't want to be there because you can't control your investment. That's like one of the worst things that you could do is not know what's going on or not have control over what you're doing. So that'd be something that we could write in our log. And you know, this is something that we could do. Just write in our log in your book. Just write that on a Monday or Sunday night. Just check again, see where it opened up, and then we can take it from there. Okay, so that's the Aussie dollar. Okay, we might have a trade on that at the beginning of the week. Let's bring up the pound, see what it did. Then we'll bring out the yen. Okay, we have something very interesting here. This is something called an alligator formation. For those of you who are not familiar, this is something that I've sort of formed about 10 years ago. And the alligator formation is a triangle. Okay, it's a triangle where the mouth is straight, the eye is here. Okay, and you got yourself a triangle. It's a very, very unique formation. And that is generally a start of a surge. Now, the rule for the alligator mouth is the longer the mouth will go, so as many candles as it will take, the sharper the spike will be. Okay. Now, generally, the spike on an alligator would be the actual direction of the eye. So if the eye is on top, that means we should expect an upward surge. Now, if it was a backward alligator, the eye would be here, then we would expect a downward surge. Okay? So that is something that if you want to learn, you're welcome to come to my session. It is a very, very cool and unique and easy to spot triangle with a lot of power behind it. Okay? Does that make sense, AC? Because I don't know. I think you're...
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, and the thing is, obviously, as you know, since I trade more on the other side, it kind of sounds like that double dip and things of that nature. So, you know, I like the fact that you just mentioned that.
Yeah. The eye has a big meaning, and you're welcome to come to the sessions. By the way, for those of you on YouTube, if you +1 me, plus Mike Metherell on G+, tomorrow there's a session at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. You're welcome to join us, and obviously look at the other YouTube videos. Feel free to subscribe. Thumbs up would be nice. You know, comments would be good too. You're quite welcome to do that. So that's the pound USD, and we'd be marking this up for a spike as well. We could get an interesting spike here of about 30 pips. That'd be an interesting collection to have. Okay, let's bring up the yen. I actually skipped on it on purpose. And here's why. Flatline. Why is it flatline? Because Japan is closed. Okay, nothing going on. Aside from that spike that we had on the US dollar, it's pretty much done. And there's that doji again. You can see it up and down and stayed on the same level. And we had another doji, another doji, another doji. Now the actual start here looks like a bit of a saucer, like a very, very slight saucer, right? A saucer setup. Well, what we could do, and this is a trick. Okay, what I'm actually doing here is I'm stretching this, okay, to see the validity of the saucer. Okay, notice here's the doji, okay, and what I'm checking here is to actually see if the bottoms hold up. Because if the bottoms hold up, it's not a saucer. And I just wanted to show you something. This is, notice the coloring on these candles is different because there's a yellow on the bottoms, okay, and if we do a straight, there's the red and green that we're used to, and there's the green candles that we're used to. Okay, we're not used to the green anymore, are we? Just don't see that anymore often. So if we do the red and the green, you can see on the reds is that the bottom holds up, meaning that it actually does dip back to this level, and it dips back to this level, okay, and then it starts going up. If it was a true saucer, it would end up being something like this, okay, where even the bottoms have a saucer, okay, and this is really tricky. And as you trade, the longer you will trade, you will notice that the saucers, true saucers that have a spike up, just like this one had a spike up, even the bottoms have a saucer. Okay, so remember that, you put that in your workbooks, okay? Most people don't look at that. They look at it, well, okay, here's my open, close, open, close, open, close, but they don't look at the bottoms and the tops, which are really important. Notice even the tops, oh wait, you can't see that? There, even the tops have a saucer. There is that saucer right here. There's that half moon, right, and there's the saucer here on the bottoms. Okay, and here we go. We get here, and we get a spike up, and we would have made about 37. Well, that was good for about 17 pips or so. Okay, so this one is not really a saucer, but notice how I validated it. I just stretched the chart. I just wanted to see on that chart to see that that saucer is true, and it's not. It is not a true saucer. This is. Okay. All right. Some pretty cool stuff. All right, let's move on. I didn't mean this to be an educational session today, but that's okay. All right, we got EuroCAD new high. Okay, this is very interesting. Again, if this was a Monday, we may have put a GTC order, good to close order. Okay, let's bring it up on 1 hour and see if it is indeed. Yes, it is new highs, and it's up 106 pips in the last 8 hours. That's a nice. That's a really nice setup. If it wasn't a Friday, we'd be in. We'd be in. It's still pushing up, pushing up, pushing up. That is something you should also put in your notebooks for Sunday evening evaluation. Okay, it looks like Sunday evening is going to be very interesting at the open. Okay, notice all we're talking about is setting up trades for Sunday night and Monday. We're getting ready for next week because unless you're going to be scalping for a few pips, you know, you should be winding down your trading. Okay, and the Euro CAD again. When did I bring that up? Let's bring up dollar Swissy. Okay, dollar Swissy, 15 minutes, does have a little bit of a nice support on here. Let's bring up the 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour support. Okay, that's a very strong support line right here. It just doesn't seem to be going under. This means that the Swiss bank somehow is holding off. I'm not saying that it's a buyer or a seller, but the Swiss banks and Swiss governments are really holding on to this level, which is 96.64, sorry, 96.69, so 96.70, yeah, 0.9670. It's really holding on to this level right here. And that's the one. Now let's bring up 4 hour chart, see what that one looks like. Okay, yeah, this seems to be like a new high. We're an upward trend. I would be looking for a correction here for about 40 pips. Okay, now, okay, don't forget that the U.S. dollar lost a fair bit today to a lot of currencies, obviously. You might get a bounce back, and this is one of the things that we talked about, I think it was yesterday, that the U.S. That the euro needed to jump back because the drop was just too deep. So the U.S. dollar has just been getting too much clout. It's been getting too much power, and the other currencies just cannot sustain that big drop versus the dollar. So it needs to correct. And I think this may have been the correction that we're looking for. This is not a big correction still. It's still got a lot to go in a lot of currencies. But on this one here, we could be looking at a 39, 40 pips. Okay, we got some really, really cool trades we could be doing on Sunday night. I'm going to be doing a special on Sunday night. Just seeing this, we're doing a special on Sunday night. So I hope everyone can come in. Let's do it at markets open. You know what, let's do a commentary prior to market open. We'll get things set up for the actual orders, and we'll open the market together. So let's say 8:30 GMT, half an hour before the actual open of the market, and we'll do 1 hour session. Okay, here's the EuroCAD. It broke again. That's what we were talking about. Okay, it just broke the new high again. Okay, it is just jumping all over the place. Okay, so mark it on your calendars, 8:30 p.m. Sunday night, GMT. Okay, it's 3:30 Eastern for those of you in the U.S. We're going to do a 1 hour session special, and we'll be setting up together for orders possibly when the market opens. And it could be really, really interesting. All right. But those are things that you should be going and doing all your technical analysis on them throughout the weekend. Let's bring up Euro Yen. It's probably sleepy too. Yeah, it's fairly sleepy. The yen is on a weekend already. Let's bring up the 4 hour chart. Okay, we can see again right here at that bottom. Okay, this is a borderline doji because it does have a body. Dojis tend to have no bodies, just like a open and close is the same level. Okay, so that might be an interesting bounce, but it didn't have enough. It didn't have enough pips. The risk reward ratios weren't good. 4 hour chart now. Look at this. This is pound Swiss. The Swiss is just killing the pound. 182 pips in the last 3 days. That is a lot. That is a lot of pips. Okay, I'd be actually looking for a bounce back, and what we could be using. Let's bring up the pound dollar, and we'll see what that one looks like. Look at this. Pound dollar is just very quiet. That's on 15 minutes. Let's bring it up on 4 hours. Okay, not much going on here. Look at this. What a big difference. Something is going on. Okay, this is arbitrage time. For those of you who do not know what arbitrage is when you have a currency pair that is leading and one is lagging. Okay, and this thing just keeps on going lower and lower. Someone is pushing this. Okay, this is not like US dollar. It's not as liquid as US dollar. Okay, something is really pushing this down. We should be seeing a retracement for about 25 pips. Okay, if this wasn't this time of day on a Friday, if it was in the morning maybe, I'd be doing a buy right now, just for like an hour or so for this retracement. So we can keep this up and see if it does a retracement. Let's bring it up on a 1 hour chart maybe.
Which one is that one? Is that the EuroCAD or?
That's pound Swissy, pound CHF, GBP CHF. Okay, again, for those of you who just joined on YouTube, Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, half an hour before the market opens, we are going to do a special, and we're going to be checking out what we can do. If you want anything analyzed on YouTube, feel free to type it in on the live comments on the right-hand side, right in the YouTube page. Okay, we got great viewers today on YouTube. I do see somebody asking for Swiss yen. chances are the Swiss yen is going to be fairly slow because the yen is sleeping. Let's bring it up anyway. Swiss yen. Okay, for our charts. Notice I'm doing 4 hours. We're getting set up for next week. We're not going to do anything special. Again, there's that support. We've been seeing this support all across all yen pairs. Okay, we might be seeing a very interesting bounce back on the yen on Sunday. Okay, it had 52 pips in the last 4 hours, which is pretty good. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. And again, it's not really doji, but that support line was there. Okay, that was a great request. I was thinking that we'd see a flat line, and we didn't. So, well done. AC, anything particular you want to bring up?
I don't see.
On the YouTube, yeah. Oh, here, I do see, now here, I'll bring this up. Okay, this is from the YouTube channel. I'll share it here so everyone can see it. So what time did you say it for, put an hour or 4 hours? Well, it depends when you're trading. That's a super question. Fast death production. That is a super question. Okay, it really depends when we're trading. Okay, if this was the beginning of the week on a Monday, we might be doing 50 minutes, 1 hour. And the true answer is it depends on your trading style. Okay, if your trading style is short term, well, you probably want to do scalping intraday. You'd be looking at 5 minute, 15 minute, 1 hour, possibly 2 hours, and that's it. Okay, if you're doing more of an intraday, a few hours, you'd be looking at the 4 hour chart, 12 hour chart, 1 day chart to get actual supporting evidence. Yeah, what do you put for the time? I'm not quite sure as to what time, which chart you meant, but most of them, what we're doing right now is we're doing 1 hour and 4 hour because we want to see that we have something available for Sunday night, and we're not going to obviously be using 15 minutes. Okay, if we were to do live trading right now on a scalping basis or intraday basis, like a Monday or a weekday or whatever, we'd be looking probably at the 15-minute chart, 1 hour, 2 hours, so on. Okay, but because we're setting up for the weekend, we're looking at long-term charts. Here's a very interesting setup. This is the Kiwi CAD, NZD CAD, Canadian dollar. Notice something is stopping it here. It's not letting it go past through this area right here. And this is a pretty cool tool. If you take a look at the purple line, as I move it, it will tell me how far I am in pips away from the actual current level. Okay, we're only 8 pips away. There's not that much. And this whole chart is only top to bottom is 64 pips, which is nothing. Okay, now that's 15 minutes. Let's bring it up 1 hour, see what we got. Okay. Well, that would be a pretty long set saucer right here. But it sort of failed. And there's a doji. Yeah, it sort of failed. Let's bring up 4 hours. Yeah, there. Right there. Okay. We're at the top again, and it does look like we might be seeing another breakout. We'll just have to wait and see. This is a really tough call. Okay, we'd have to see what's happening on Sunday night. But this is a really tough call. This might actually be a hedge. It depends what else the Kiwi was doing and the CAD was doing. The CAD actually has been fairly strong lately. I can't call this one at all. Maybe if somebody wants to do technical analysis on this and bring it with them on a Sunday, feel free. Okay, make sure you come to the hangout on Sunday night. Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Come to the hangout, and we'll compare notes, and we'll do analysis before the market opens. That's going to be the first time. I'd like to do this every week if we can, and get some people joining in. Just plus me, plus Mike Metherell on Google Plus. Okay, let's bring up two more. Let's bring up pound Aussie. You know what? Let's bring up Aussie Kiwi. Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. Aussie Kiwi. Let's go 1 hour and 4 hour charts. Okay, we're getting this bottom here, and it's bouncing back, bouncing back, bouncing back. Okay, this whole chart only has about 100 pips on it in 1 hour chart. Let's bring up the 4 hour chart. Okay. By the way, I do see Fast Death Production, your comments. It'd be nice to know your username, and then next time we'll add you to the actual panel, and you can join us. That'd be super to have you on board. Okay. And it does look like we have a support here on the 4 hours. We have a very interesting 153 pips. This is a average bar 28 pips. We can look at the stats right here. Average bar 28, 29 pips. Okay. The high range, the complete range is 206 pips for the chart. This might be tradable for Saturday. Again, don't just go by what people say or what I say. Always do your homework. Do your own charts, do your own analysis. If you're new, make sure that you take a look at the rules of do's and do nots on the Trader's Hideout channel. Okay, and if you'd like to download this platform, feel free. There's the URL right on top. Okay, and you can download it and trade with us. It doesn't cost any money. Get demo for as long as you want. It's pretty cool stuff. Okay. Let's see if there's any others. AC, do you have any others you'd like to bring up?
No, I just all I had was when it's going to happen on Sunday, and if they're going to be able to be in, or just if it's going to be on air, then they can watch from the YouTube, right?
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah, we should probably just repeat this at 8:30 p.m. If you want to be involved in the actual hangout itself, where you could interact and bring up all your questions, make sure that you send me a note on Google Plus. If you don't have an account, it's worth getting a Google Plus account and just put in your email, create an email on Gmail or whatever. Going to Google Plus, add to your circle plus Mike Metherell. You can also plus AC Cruz if you want, you'd be able to just drop me a quick note and say, hey Mike, I want to be in and on the panel. Let me get in. I got questions, and we'd love to have you on the panel. Okay, I do expect a few people in on that panel coming in, because we'd also be right after a session on Sunday. We have that training session, so. We might have a full house. And for those of you who are not in, hopefully you'll be able to see it on YouTube, but it might only be after the market opens, so I hope you don't miss out on this. So I know a lot of people are going to be seeing this video on the weekends, so make sure you shoot me a note on G+. And the only thing that is left to do is wishing everybody a super weekend. And on Saturday and Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, join us in the Hangouts. shoot me a note, plus Mike Metherell. We're doing training session, live training sessions, free. Not going to cost you any money. Just come and join, okay? And chances are it's not going to be on air. So hop in with us and have a super weekend, and may the profits be with you. This is Mike Metherell, Traders Hideout, and AC Cruz with us.
Thank you.
Bye, all.